Hey everyone, back again, same subject. So, I've just had a text off my daughter, and it's happened, I knew it would. A friend that's in a toxic partnership relationship has blocked her on all of her social media. See, the thing is my daughter's taking it personally, thinking that now he doesn't like her, that she's done something wrong, for standing up and talking the truth about his partner. Now, I know for a fact that's not the case. He'll be keeping the peace. That's what he'll be doing. He'll be, well, the scenario of a narcissistic relationship really is, she's told him to come straight home after the funeral. Obviously the poor lad's grieving. He's stayed on and gone to the wake. Plans change. He's at a funeral for a friend that's killed himself. And he's there with a lot of his friends that are friends of this poor lad that's got to the point where he's took his own life. So, yeah, you expect them, because they're only young, 20s, you'd expect them to want to go and celebrate their friend's life after, even if it's just for one drink. And you can understand the peer pressure as well, If somebody says, oh no, I've got to go home, missus, I've said to the missus, I'll be back. Oh, come on lad, oh come on, it's only one drink, You can imagine it. So yeah, I can understand. He's gone to the wake. So obviously his girlfriend's kicked off. Well, actually, the fiancé now, they've only just got engaged. And obviously she's out of order completely, trying to bring all the attention back to her, ending the relationship. The usual threats and guilt trips and victimising and twisting facts and, making it all about her, when it should have been all about him and his feelings and his emotions at this time. But it's a vulnerable time, it's a vulnerable point, grieving for a friend, one of the most vulnerable points in your life, and she's taken full advantage of it. And he's an empath, so he wants to correct it. And don't forget, he's been in a relationship for a while, so this is going to be an ongoing thing. It wouldn't have just been an overnight thing. All of a sudden, she's decided that he can't go to this wake. That he's been blah 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 blah. No, it's probably been since the relationship started, gradually getting worse and worse. So it becomes more acceptable to him that it's normal behaviour and that he's the one that's causing all the problems. So yeah, to keep the peace, because as soon as that, my daughter told his fiancé that she knew what had been said and how disgusting it was, and even Matt stood up for himself and said that it's wrong. But the type of person that this woman is, I'm sure, aggression, anger, shouting, screaming. I don't know what she's like behind closed doors and how far it escalates, but it could go to physical violence, threats of physical violence, emasculating a man, probably telling him how bad he is, 'cause, how much of a nasty person he is. Um, you know, and even Matt stood up for himself and said that, it's wrong. But the type of person that this woman is, I'm sure, aggression, anger, shouting, screaming. I don't know what she's like behind closed doors and how far it escalates, but it could go to physical violence, threats of physical violence, emasculating a man, probably telling him how bad he is, how much of a nasty person he is. and how much my daughter is interfering, jealous, cruel, you know, wants to split them up, you know, the whole reason for these arguments or whatever, you know, you can see it all being used as lies and twisted to make him feel bad. And it would be constant. Because until you give up and say, okay, I'll do this for you, I'll stop being this person's friend, I'll believe what you're saying, and then it stops for a bit and you get a bit of an ease and it's like, oh, thank fuck for that. Your brain gets a bit of a rest, but it doesn't rest. It's still going, but the attack stops or lessens. So yeah, this is a repercussion from the abuse that this man's suffering, that this man's been put through. It's now got to the point where, because she's being found out for who she is, and it's by somebody that's close to them, she now wants to isolate him away from these people by getting him to block them. And I know it won't be what he wants, it'll be what she's dictating and ordering him to do. But it has a knock-on effect, because when you don't know what's going on, you think all of a sudden that your friend doesn't like you anymore because you've spoken up about truth. Now, I had the same incident. One of my dear friends, one of my close friends, he got involved with this woman, and I could see through her. And she very nearly drove him to suicide. And when I pointed all this out to him, I didn't actually point it out to her, because it's quite dangerous doing it that way, because it can just escalate, and obviously the same sort of thing happens. You've got to block this person, you're not allowed to go see this person. But I did actually mention something on social media. Whether she read it or not, I don't know, but it was directed at her and any other toxic person. And what I would do, which wouldn't be violence, it would be reporting it to the police if it was to continue. Then all of a sudden, my relationship with my friend disappeared. Gone, you know? No replies to calls. I wasn't blocked or anything like that. I'd actually blocked his girlfriend, and a few others of his friends, like, you know. But yeah, I just got ghosted, which I did understand. But, you know, I could see that it wasn't him. It was because of her and her wishes, what she wanted, her insecurities. You know, I was a friend to both of them, an equal amount. And I don't know what it is with her, if she was jealous of our friendship or what. There was nothing to be jealous about. You know, she was in the relationship with him, I wasn't. I was just a friend, you know. I was just caring, considerate and loving to both of them like I would be any other friend. But it came out that she was making out that me and him was having an affair and all sorts of shit. And it was complete shit. I can't get involved with people like that. She might be able to, but I can't. So it was hard, it was horrible. I did feel at first wronged, which yeah, I would do, but I do understand the reason why, you know. It wasn't because of him, it wasn't because of his thoughts, It wasn't what he really thought about me. It was a fact he was being manipulated and controlled at home to the point where he had to stop interacting with me, interacting with other people. Because I'm sure it just wasn't me that he wasn't allowed to interact with anymore. Anybody else that would have that opinion about her, that could see straight through her, would have been a threat to exposing all the lies that she'd made up, all the twisted realities that she was making up, the same as this other girl. All the twisted realities of everything, you know, everything that's going on in their lives, they twist it round. Use all your insecurities about you, all your insecurities they use against you. All your deep dark secrets. Because obviously you tell your partner these sorts of things, don't you? They blackmail you with them. Use them against you. So yeah, you do back down. You do back down and give in to their demands, whatever their demands are. And all they're doing is isolating you away from people that can support you, that can help you move away from them, that can see the truth, you know. And it's just an escalation. And it will continue until the victim walks away, or until the narcissist is stopped. And I know it's hard for somebody that's been abused to walk away, because it's usually they're usually an empath, you know, even though they're made out to be the devil by the narcissist, who is the devil. It really is so fucked up, it's unbelievable. And you can see why people get into such a state, because they don't know up from down, left from right, in from out. And it's all to do with what they're going through at home with their partners, their toxic partners, the toxic family, their toxic friends, even toxic work colleagues. You know, they all have an impact. The amount of time that you spend with these people, their views constantly bombarding you. It's difficult not to take it on board and think it's you, especially when you've got nobody there that can actually say no, it's not you, it's them. You know, when you've got that support system around, you'd walk away from shit like this. And this is why they isolate you. So you haven't got the outside influences to show you that what you're going through is so wrong on so many different levels. It's illegal. It's against the law. It's harmful. It's abuse. It's neglect. It's torture. Mental abuse. Physical abuse. It's just wrong on all fucking levels. Do you know, I really would just love to go and knock on that fucking door now and just sit down with the pair of them and talk direct to her of what she's doing to him. But it's not my place to do that. As much as I'd like to, as much as I'm frustrated to see people that I know, people that I love, people I have an attachment with, people that my daughter has an attachment with, going through such atrocities. But then if I do that, the narcissist kicks off when I go. But they'll kick off on their partner. They'll take it out on their partner. They'll blame their partner until their partner accepts that blame. and then adjusts their behaviour to please a narcissist. That's no life to live. That really is no life to live. You're a prisoner in your own head, and the warden is your partner, your family member, your friend. And, you've got the key to escape. Even though you think that you haven't, because they convince you that you haven't got any other choice but to be with them. And when you try and make moves, they go with the emotional blackmail. Threaten to expose all your secrets. Threaten to expose you even though there's nothing wrong with you. Because you know that they'll expose you, but as they are, they'll tell everybody that you're evil, manipulative, cheating, lying, stealing, whatever. And it's actually a version of them that they're telling everybody that you are. And they'll take on your personality, that you're the caring, loving, giving, kind, constantly trying to please, constantly trying to fix things. They swap roles with you. They steal your life and give you theirs. And it's sick, it really is. And when there's people around you that don't see this, then, they're happy with that. Because their lie is able to keep going. But when you've got people around you that can see straight through them, they'll make you want to leave them. Or they will make you leave them. This is where you get sort of like just lies being told about your friends and things like that, rumours starting, spreading and everything. But because you believe your partner, you don't bother going following it up. You just sit there and, maybe they've got a few friends that goes, oh yeah, well they was like this, they did this, I did that, yeah, or yeah, right slag, or right player, like type person, or whatever, They've got their friends, cronies, people like them backing them up, because they're getting something from you as well. Whatever it is, it could be all sorts, money, drink, booze, whatever, even just your energy. They want to keep you there. So they'll back these people up. And because you're not allowed to have friends that know that these people are toxic, then you've got nobody there to help you with your own internal thoughts of this isn't right, this feels wrong. And you will be brainwashed into thinking that what they're saying is true about your reality and yourself. It's just brainwashing on a big level. But, you don't follow things up and go and ask these people that you trust, or that know what's going on. You don't go and ask them because of the repercussions. What if your partner found out? Oh, dread. So you block them, you delete them, you delete the number off your phone, you delete any conversation with them, you avoid them, you stay out the areas that they live in or associate or go round wherever. You avoid them like the plague, because if you was to bump into them, open up, and your partner found out, you'd get that backlash again. You'd get all that verbal, mental, physical abuse thrown at you for days and days and days and days, because it's another round of ammunition for them, isn't it? And it's another It's another excuse just to be evil and control. And it really is sad, because you do get into a state where you know there's something wrong, but you can't make that decision of if it is wrong. It is so confusing, it really is. It really is so confusing. Like I say, you don't know up from down, left from right, in from out. And it's all because of these toxic people twisting what you're thinking, how you're acting, what you believe about yourself and the world around you. So yeah, it would be nice to be able to go and knock on these people's doors and talk to them straight in the face, you know, as a couple. This is what you're doing to this person. This is what this person is doing to you. But it doesn't make things better. It makes things worse. So, as for me, as a friend, this is why I have to walk away. Because I will not be used as a scapegoat for somebody else to carry on abusing somebody else. I will not be the reason why somebody has an excuse to abuse somebody else. If I'm not in the picture, I cannot be used as that excuse. So, hopefully, the person that's been abused will see a pattern, because it won't just be me that they do this, or their thoughts and feelings towards. It will be other people that they don't want this person to be around. So there will be a pattern, and eventually, if their mind is strong enough, please be strong enough, they will see what's going on, and they will walk away and never look back. And it's such a shame for those that haven't got that sight to see what's going on, and they end up taking their own lives. It's so sad. And I wouldn't know what I'd do if I saw one of my friends do that, because of their partner. To me, that's premeditated murder. That you would be willing to fuck somebody's head up enough to the point where they want to kill themselves, and they do. My mum nearly did that to me a few times. Ex-partners have done that to me. Took me right to that brink, you know. And for whatever reason I survived. Maybe it was for this reason, to talk about all this. Because I do believe that a lot of people that commit suicide is due to how other people make them feel, and due to how they think that they have no other choice. There's so much of it going on nowadays, but toxic personalities are so rife too, especially in these towns, cities, where there's poverty, inequality. It's just nasty to sit there and watch and understand what's going on and feel powerless to do anything about it. And it really is down to society, how we're raised, what we're led to believe as we're growing up. The people around us, what we absorb on a daily basis, affects all of us. It affects how we think, it affects how we live, it affects what we pass on to the next generations. And it's been affecting us for too long. And there's got to be a change. It's, like they say, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and it shouldn't be. That's a narcissistic belief, a narcissistic way of thinking. Every man from himself, yeah. Every toxic man from himself. Toxic woman for herself. Narcissistic behaviour, narcissistic thinking. There's no community spirit there at all. There's no thinking of somebody else. There's no thinking of your fellow. You know. It's sort of like, how in a starving situation every man for himself is going to work, you know? If you see a man there starving and you're not, and you don't feel compelled to walk over to that person and give them something to eat, then that's toxic thinking, isn't it? If you'd rather sit there and watch somebody starve while you're there with a big fucking plate of food, and all you've got to do is walk over to give them some of your food, that's toxic thinking. That's a toxic pattern. It's the same as, you know, all these migrants coming over. Yeah, of course they're going to have a drain on the resources of what we've got over in England, or wherever they're going to. But why are they running in the first place? Why do they need to? It's because of what's going on in their own countries. Yeah, there'll be a lot of chances coming over to take advantage, but then there's a lot of people that need that fucking help too. And this world's just fucked up, you know? You keep seeing these things on Facebook. Oh, immigrants taking this and benefits and what. And stop the fucking problems over there, like, you know? Stop the source, not the not the fucking after the horses bolted, you know. Stop the source of the problem, not the effects of it after. You didn't miss anything. So yeah, sorry. This really does piss me off and get my back up, and especially when it's so close to home, because I do feel powerless. I can't do fuck all, even though I just want to go and fucking talk to the pair of them. Yeah, I'm not a violent person, but you just want to... But no. I hope that people that are stuck in that situation realise that everything about what they're in is wrong, and they have the strength and determination to walk away. There is something better out there for you. You don't have to stay with it, even though you feel like you do. You're not failing. How can you fail at something you can never win at with a narcissist? You can never win. Or you can never make things better. You can never have a balance. That's what I mean about winning. You can never have a good outcome. You can never have a happy outcome. Maybe once in a while. Happy outcomes should come quite a lot in your life. Not once in a blue moon. And if it is once in a blue moon, then you're around the wrong people. Because life shouldn't be like that. But we all need to learn how to think and live properly. Learn how to not be manipulated by a certain type of person. And it doesn't just go for in relationships and friendships and partnerships or families or work colleagues. It goes to the top of society with people that are running this world. They don't care about us. They don't care about anybody else. They have no empathy for a dying person on the street, for a starving person, or for any other person other than themselves. They just see us as an income, a way of keeping power and earning lots of money from it and having a good life while all the rest of us suffer. And it's just not right. Anyway, here we go. Talk for another half an hour. Sorry, this stuff really does do my head in. So I've got to get it out instead of having it going over in my own head. And if by getting it out, I help somebody else understand what they're going through, which has a knock-on effect for the community and then the world, then hopefully it'll happen, you know. We will have to start thinking differently about thinking about the brain, how the brain works and how it affects people from birth to death in all aspects of life. Because as I say, one person's actions can have a spread out effect, a domino effect. Even toxic ones, but good ones too, you know, good people. You know, I can have a domino effect with what I'm preaching. But I have practiced what I'm preaching. We have narcissists that preach, but will never practice what they preach. They just want everybody else to fall in line to what they want to provide for them. So, I shall stop going on about it now. I will make some nice videos, I'm sure. I need to lighten up the mood a bit, I think. But yeah, get the word out, pass on the knowledge, help empower people, and help. You can't depower, is it? Help remove power from the people that think they should have it over everybody else. Narcissists, basically. Anyway, time to go. Bye bye, everyone.